Hello and welcome back to EPIC41 with Intel. We're back on track. The technical issues, they're not going to stop us. They're not going to stop the teams. We're going to keep rolling. To remind you of the narrative right now, it is 2-1 to Warwick. 7-2-1 began their journey of a reverse sweep potential. So that's where we're at, as they, 7-2-1, have chosen Servassa as our flashpoint map. Of course, there's no map bans. There's only 2 maps. If you banned a map, you'd basically be choosing the map. So yes, that we are going to Servassa, and we've been talking about flashpoint being very good for Queen, but that doesn't really tell us what team's going to win now, because we've now seen Totally flex onto the Queen with the Zenyatta backline. It's been working because of the sight lines. Is that still going to be the case on Flashpoint, or are people just going to be able to kite the damage from and the Discord Orb from the Zenyatta?
It's surprisingly going to actually work well in Servassa, I think.
Okay.
So, in Servassa, you've got a couple of points that you just have high ground long sight lines, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's one point, it's the indoors one, where you've got like a lot of long sight lines your Zen can play on in sort of the main choke, and then the point is just really long. And then you've also got the one with a pillar in the middle. I can't remember what they're called. But there's the one with that little statue pillar in the middle, and you can go on the high ground next to it. There's a lot of places Santix could play on the Zen here. So it looks like we're going to get the exact same thing. It's going to be a Junker Queen mirror with a bit of a switch up in the DPS lines and the support lines. We're used to this.
Yeah, Warwick, they're looking at Meta 1 being on the Torbjorn, and well, Jenny probably going to be swapping after a little bit of a TP. Pretty much exactly what we've seen from these teams on Esperanza. However, Warwick, they struggled to actually find Zenyatta on the field, and that just caused an issue. It meant the Santix was pretty much free. It meant Blizzard Star was getting a lot done, just running around, having people trail after them. So keep the sightlines long for Santix, and 7-2-1, they're in a great position.
Yeah, this is the point I was talking about, right? You can sit in this choke and just throw in, if you're the Torb, you can throw in Doritos. If you're the Zen, you can throw in Orbs. Everything's good for like both of these teams in terms of the poke potential, but eventually Warwick need to engage. And that's going to be very difficult with J9 going down there. Sketchy manages to find that kill very quickly, just peeling for Santix. And now Mr. Von can be a nuisance in the backline with no Tracer to mark them. Rosden goes down, Totally finds that kill. And again, this is the thing, Warwick need to engage first and burst Totally, because there's not enough sustain to keep them up.
Yeah, I mean, with the recent DPS passive, sustain's just less. Moira is going to be able to build coalescence, but slower than before. 7-2-1, able to just keep that long. You see the ult percentage for Blizzard Star and Mr. Von. They got so much poke in during that poke stage. J9 going to the Genji, trying to like follow up with those dashes, but they're not finding great setups. Meta 1 can spam from afar, but J9, if they go in alone, then they're in a lot of trouble. They need to go in with Rosden and have that extra shout ready.
Yeah, pretty much you want to play this like Jotes. You just want to put pressure on one person, burst them down with your entire team on board. 7-2-1 need to avoid that. Obviously, play Santix on long like sight lines. 90% though and counting here for 7-2-1. I mean, there's got to be something happening here for Warwick as they start to engage. J9 gets taken down again though. Lovely knife coming through there from Totally. And now it's all up to Warwick, see if they can make a clutch play. You've got Rosden going down right before the beat from Thrall, just a little bit too late. And now Meta gets bursted. I don't think that beat was really the best timing.
I agree with you. Didn't get the best value from it, and it meant the 7-2-1. They're 1-0 up in Servassa. They continue their steps, and there's been a complete shift from the Wrecking Ball onto the Queen for Totally. We've seen them really thrive against Rosden, who's been playing primarily, if not totally, the Queen for the entirety of this series. Now 7-2-1 in a great situation. They've got all their ults. They've got an entire menu to deal with. You just don't want to overdump here. 7-2-1 have this next fight.
Yeah, what Warwick want to do, take a neutral fight with the Cole and just ideally not have your Lucio get taken out in the first 5 seconds. Okay, Mr. Von just finds an early pulse. I was going to say bait out ultimate. The 7-2-1 used 2 of them here, the Rampage and the Visor. Actually only gets 1 kill out of it, and that is the kind of thing Warwick wanted. They want to trade the Cole for 2 ultimates and that pulse as well. That's 3.
Played it exactly like you said. Got 3 ults out, only used the cold himself. They're in a great position now. However, 721, they do have both their support ultimates. So it is still going to be difficult for J9 to get something done with this Blade. They can use the Blade to get the beat out or get the trans out, but in terms of trying to get that Blade to get value in terms of eliminations and damage, it's going to be really tough. You need to force both support ults, and that's just not really feasible.
Yeah, I think you're just going to be looking at another fight here where Warwick are disadvantaged entirely. Although, okay, burst them down before they can use any support ults there as J9 finds a second onto Blizzard Star as well. That's what you want if you're Warwick. You burst down the Junker Queen and Santix can't do anything because they're not on Moira.
They just weren't prepared. They just weren't prepared for that aggression, and with those support ults, they really should have had that Blade marked if they were properly tracking that ultimate. Warwick, they now have a chance to poke and prod, get this Blizzard and the Rampage. The Rampage doesn't care about the Transcendence, so now if you just force beat, that Rampage can get a lot of value for Warwick.
Yeah, bit of an off angle here. Look at 721. 3 of their players down from the side. It's going to be totally... I think that might have been booped off of the map there, but Thrall and Cheeselord still go down. Mr. Vaughn finds J9 as well. Builds up the pulse bomb during that fight, finds the 4th, and that is exactly what you want your Tracer to be doing, clutching up when you need it.
Mr. Vaughn, slow start, pulse bombing turrets, whiffing pulse bombs. Now, no whiffs. Playing on point, really coming on top for 721. 90% now. 721 are going to be on match point. Warwick, they need to be coming in fast if they want to touch. I don't even think they do touch. Well, they do just there. They've got the Blizzard as well if they want to secure it.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of ultimates to be used here for Warwick to try and secure this, but Rosden and Thrall go down first. I mean, yeah, 721 use the pulse and the beat, but you've just thrown a Blizzard and a Rampage in to get absolutely nothing out of it. J9 finds totally, it doesn't matter. Now 721 have one more flashpoint to win, and they'll take the map.
The momentum is squarely with 721. They're playing this really well. Warwick, they have adapted to the ball composition. 721, they've adapted off of playing the ball composition. And that's the key situation here. They don't know how to deal, Mr. Vaughn almost went down. They don't know how to deal with this odd setup, this very 721 setup. And now they really need to get it. They need to get this point, otherwise they will go to match point against 721.
Oh, very close pulse there. Almost catches Blizzard Star out. But now Blizzard Star goes on the flank, finds the visor. Coalescence and beat layered on top of each other, but Meta 1 isn't hit by it for Warwick. So now they have to play passively. They are sitting on the point, waiting for 721 to come to them. They've managed to get rid of Blizzard Star temporarily using that wall, but Cheeselord can't hide from the Helix rocket as it's just too powerful having this soldier go between so many angles so quickly, and 721 just flip it straight back over.
Yeah, I mean, Warwick, they doubled up on support ults very early on. They didn't get the follow-up they were wanting from it, which meant they ran out of steam there. 721 in the driver's seat. That's a big stagger. In Flashpoint, a stagger like that could mean 20 to 30%, and that's not what you want. We're going to be at 60% before we get another full fight potentially, and 721, they've got the ult over it. No support ults for Warwick. They're running right into a Rampage, right into a Pulse. Santix can defend with the Transcendence. Mr. Vaughn's on the sneak. This is bad for Warwick.
Oh, Mr. Vaughn misses the pulse, makes their presence known. Warwick need to be careful to not get one clipped by Mr. Vaughn again. Instead, they're going to go hyper aggro. Look at where they are. They're trying to rotate around and find Totally, but Totally is completely fine. Has Mr. Vaughn to back them up, deal that damage, but Totally goes in completely willy-nilly. Doesn't manage to find anything. Instead, it's Santix and Mr. Vaughn putting in the work once again. It's always Mr. Vaughn. It always has been here. As 721, they just rely on this Tracer to put in the work. Overtime Wick is burning away now, and Rosden is discorded and getting burst down. Sketchy uses that sound barrier to keep the team sustained. No chance of a comeback here for Warwick, as Santix finds a couple kills as well towards the end, showing dominance. And 721 managed to take a 3-0 on Flashpoint, and now one map away for that reverse sweep.
It was prophesized on stone tablets written in ancient civilizations, the coming of Mr. Vaughn, and it's appeared before our very eyes, looking so clean. The aggression they had in that fight, yep, there's the boop of the map by Rosden. The aggression they had when they realized that the Mei of Meta 1 didn't have the ice block. They were just in there, hitting them, shooting them, getting anything to do, because they were like, this is a major advantage. I'm going to follow up on it. They did. Look at this. A complete reversal of the situation from yesterday. We are in a reverse sweep situation for 7-2-1. Now, if we're going to really copy what happened last time, but swapping the characters, 7-2-1, they need to C9 here, and then Warwick need to win.
They already did. Geo?
That's true. They already used their C9.
Yeah.
So they can actually reverse sweep this.
Yeah.
Yes. It's all worked out. And unless we start saying that they're going to win as casters and caster curse them, then they're in a great position. I think Warwick, because we're going to payload now, right? This was Cervasa last time. Warwick, they did not get past point 1. They didn't touch, to be fair.
Yep.
That's probably the map they don't want to go to unless they've since VOD reviewed it and come up with a solution. I don't think they want to go to Cervasa.
Yeah, well, Cervasa's a Flashpoint map, so definitely not.
What am I meaning?
I don't know. I don't know what escort maps there are.
I'm trying to think of the map. It's not Nepal. It's the other one in Nepal.
In Nepal?
It's in
Shambali.
Nepal. Shambali.
That's
oh my
the
lord.
one. Yeah.
I'm going to use the morning card. It's the first game. My brain's not activated enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Gio. That's fair enough.
Shambali. They don't want to go to Shambali.
Yeah. Shambali Monastery is what they do want to go to. That being said, right, yesterday when they played Shambali, they really only lost to that C9. They would have gotten past that first point, I reckon. That last fight could have been theirs. That being said, if you have to be in a situation where your last fight is still on first point, maybe you don't play that map again. Other options, you know, you've got Dorado, you've got Route, you've got Gibraltar. All quite ball-centric, I would say. So I don't know if they want to go to those either. I think Shambali would be a good pick, but we have got it confirmed in now. Their ban was actually Rialto. Warwick's ban was Rialto, and they've gone to Dorado.
Yeah, okay. I get that. 7-2-1 banning circuit.
Yeah.
They didn't want to risk it in circuit.
Wait, no, that's crazy though.
I was trying to make up in my mind on that one. Maybe it's the fear of a Widowmaker coming from the other side. Maybe they don't have a Widowmaker
Who would play
player.
the Widow?
I don't know. Also, Widowmaker. Anyway, we're going to Dorado, right?
Yeah.
And in terms of playing Queen, it's you can rotate, you can TP.
Yeah.
I think Warwick, hear me out.
Don't let Gio cook.
Hear me out. Are going to bring the classic TP Hog. I think we might see the classic. Warwick are up against it. What do they do in their darkest moments? They bring out
the Meta 1 Farah.
Okay, well, I'm on a track.
Yeah. You were on the right lines.
Yeah.
Okay, now this isn't locked in by any means, right?
Yes.
But the Meta 1 Farah, the G9 Widowmaker, and Rosden on Wrecking Ball, I don't think that's good. I think they're going to swap office. I think they're going to go back to either JQ or, like you said, potentially have Meta 1 on that Symmetra and play the Hog. But by the looks of things, you got the JQ, and they might play the Farah with the JQ. Actually, this is the comp they played yesterday.
Yeah, they have to watch the Blizzard Star doesn't take you out the sky. Discord. Don't read the chat. Don't read the chat. The Discord orb onto the fire. Obviously, Meta 1 wants to play around that, get that out, so they can't go onto them. Because if you get discorded, shot by Blizzard Star, it's all over for you. G9 wanted it, but yeah, you risk it for the biscuit. You don't get a digestive. You get digested. You're gonna swap now. Farah Mercy here. Rotating the rest around the side. Look at that. They're hunting on this off angle.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't get a digested, you get a rich tea biscuit.
Oh.
But Meta 1, okay. Nice one shot there onto Mr. Vaughn. And this is the thing. If you want to one shot a Tracer as a Farah, you're free to. You got that Mercy pocket, you got that damage boost. And now Warwick are happy to take angles and just set up for when this fountain fight is going to happen.
Double elimination. Loser of this goes to loser bracket. Winner moves forward closer to getting a top 3 spot here. So much money on the line. Can they get this reverse sweep? Santix goes low, goes down.
Man, this right click, this I forgot what it's called, the horizontal movement that Farah has now is so good. I mean, Meta 1 has so much mobility all over the place right now. I mean, yeah, Rosden goes down, but what on earth did Totally and Mr. Von do about a Farah in the sky? Blizzard Star has moved over to the Sombra now to try and deal with it, but they won't be back for a while, so Meta 1 just reigns in the skies, manages to take down Totally. Mr. Von still trying to clutch up, takes down Thrall, takes down J9. Okay, give Mr. Von a chance and they'll take it for sure. Helped by Blizzard Star, finds Meta 1 as well. Mr. Von is unstoppable. Someone get this man even more Weetabix, and he will become the best Tracer we've seen.
Mr. Von Weetabrecht up. Blizzard Star with that virus as well. They held that in. 7-2-1 in a great position, Totally. Now on the Diva, wants to deal with the Farah. Mr. Von, a little bit of trade. That's a good trade. Tracer comes back quick as well.
Yeah, Tracer's going to come back quicker, although the res means Rosden comes back even quicker. Geo, this is why they play the Mercy, because even if Rosden goes down with a low sustain, it doesn't matter, you just res them straight back up. Meta 1 here on the Torbjorn as well, able to put in a lot more damage onto Totally on this Diva. So Warwick are just going to pummel through, and I think that adaptation there, going to the Torb in response to the Diva Sombra, it is now a game of counter-picking. Totally back to the JQ.
Yes, comp players, avert your eyes lest you have PTSD. Now, I want to point out, Santix died on 99%. Meta 1's back on fire. Santix died on 99% to Transcendence. If they had 1 more percent, they could have went for it and got back on the pulse bomb from J9. A great opener. They get its payload for a very tough spot.
Oh, Cheeselord does end up going down, but Rosden finds Totally. I think that's over now for 7-2-1. You're playing with a Tracer Sombra Lucio. I mean, yeah, they're all kind of flanky, but they just disengage here. The thing is, again, we've done another counter pick here, by the way, Geo. You've got Totally back on the Diva as soon as Meta 1's back on the Farah. Are they going to keep swapping?
Oh, man, it's literally going to come down to who has the right heroes at the right time, isn't it?
What?
Oh, Blizzard Star taken to the sky like a shooting star. Gets the Mercy, but not a whole lot more. Blizzard Star goes down. Meta 1 without the pocket, in a lot of danger, pressured out there. Transcendence comes out.
Yeah, that Transcendence was forced. Meta 1 drops down onto Santix, and right as Santix threw out that last orb to kill them, popped the Trance. So you've swapped Blizzard Star over to the Echo now, and Santix has used Trance. That's 2 ults down.
Well, Meta 1's on Torb, Cheeselord's on Brig. It is back and forth, rock, paper, scissors, tit for tat. But yeah, Blizzard Star now on the Echo. Pulse Bomb finds Cheeselord, lovely. Creates some time. It's all about draining the time bank now.
Yeah, no Suzu available there for Thrall, so Warwick is just going to sit here, see if they can get an extra kill. They won't. Thrall dies, they disengage. Just literally a flowchart fight there.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're Totally, you're so happy sticking with the Diva, even if they have the Torb now, because you can control the high ground, you can come down, contest a lot with being able to get back up to the high ground as well. Second life with the bomb coming up. Warwick, though, with that Rampage, they want to try and secure an elimination onto Blizzard Star if they can try and force them out. They don't have a lot of high ground control, though, or at least control of the air. So I think Blizzard Star kind of free right now, other than the turret.
Oh, J9 almost gets caught out there. Mr. Von zipping around, trying to take that Tracer duel. Totally actually doubles back just to try and peel for J9 as Cheeselord is stuck in this small room, taken down by Gruber, by Mr. Von. And again, that's just one of those fights where 7-2-1 just mechanically better.
Yeah, Cheeselord entered the house of the Lord and got melted down. A lot of time has been drained away. Warwick with only about a minute now. As they push forward, Thrall still hasn't pulled the trigger on this rush. There hasn't been a moment to. J9 has the pulse bomb. Mr. Von's already built another one. Like, 7-2-1 have this in the bag. The only thing they won't have in this next fight is beat. They have this down.
They should do, but I've seen 7-2-1 lose more winnable games and fights, okay? Or almost lose, for that matter.
The turret!
Yep, turret gets pulsed. Interesting usage. Actually, it gets rid of it from the fight. That frees everyone up to go more aggro now, as we get a Kitsune rush coming through, a D.Va bomb that hits Thrall. No Suzu available in that case. J9 with his pulse bomb needs to make something happen with it. Meta1 now has that Molten Core as well. The Cheese Lord is going to sustain them with that rally, keep them alive. Rosden and J9 have gone down. Meta1 throws the Molten Core down, but it doesn't matter. No one's going to walk through that. With J9 out of the fight, Warwick have no chance. 10 seconds left. Someone's got to stall.
It's got to be stall. Blizzard Star, though, on the verge of going down.
Totally? Inting?
Totally, yeah. Loses their mech in a very brutal moment to do so, but I don't know how much there is. Mr. Von takes out J9. There goes the Queen. They get the first point in the payload this time, Warwick, but it's not very far. Warwick, if they want to stop the reverse sweep, if they want to keep themselves in the winner's bracket, they now need to put the big stop sign down. They want to be holding first point, I think. That's pretty much what they want to be doing. You get into second point and you lose a lot of control. You're forced to come off the high ground and play on the low ground. Yeah. Then you can have Blizzard Stars still in the echo, taking that high ground. I think Warwick, they need to be looking at a first point hold. They can't let them go past.
And here's the thing as well. If you're Warwick and 721 cap the first point here, you're on second point where you need to control high grounds. That also means there's higher chance of C9s.
No.
Gio,
no.
I don't want to curse it. I have cursed many things across this match, yesterday as well. The comeback from 721 against Banbury, I cursed that. I don't want to curse this, but we might have a C9 potentially brewing up. We don't know.
No.
Anything could happen here, Gio.
No. It will not happen. I am putting that into the universe. There will not be another C9. Warwick, they're sticking with the Torb now, which means they can set this turret up, stop those pesky flanks in the back line. Of course, Mr. Vaughn might be taking that track to get into the back of the high ground. If they do that, they'll have to deal with the turret and Meta1. So it's good setup. Look at that, though. Hello, Thrall. You have you have something to say? You want to go up against Santix on Zen? Tough. That's a tough choice. Respect the confidence, though.
I do respect the confidence, not if you're going to peek a Widow, but, you know, that's a bit too confident. Going to go back to the Tracer here, Mr. Von. The thing is, you're going to play a much squishier support who can't really deal with Tracer as well as like a Kiriko cannon just TPing away into Mr. Von, right? I mean, Thrall is going to have such a hard time. You have to adapt and emulate Santix's playstyle here if you want to have any chance. But Santix, as we mentioned it, just gets a kill onto Cheese Lord. Warwick are now on the back foot. Totally does get D-Max, so now you've basically got no tank in the fight for 7-2-1. Maybe a bit too aggressive there if you're totally trying to put pressure on that high ground, but Warwick are a bit split, right? They've got players all over the place. They're not really together. They're not really ready to rush in on anyone. They are looking for Totally, but Rosden goes a bit too far forward, maybe a bit too aspirational there. They're so used to having the Moira, I think, that they just expected the healing and they wouldn't get it.
Mr. Vaughn finds Rosden without a tank in play, because it was still baby D.Va. And now J9's trying to equalize. It's not going to be enough. Warwick, they're going to lose this first point. There might be touches, and it's really mean to say to Thrall, but you know, what do you want in your movie? A Rock impersonator or The Rock? You know, Santix has it down. Speaking of The Rock, Rosden, Old Faithful, Roadhog is in play. Maybe it just works. Where is J9?
Okay, the Tracers are just dueling. Santix is playing a bit further back to try and help out if needed, but J9 is absolutely nowhere to be seen. Just taps away at Mr. Von there from the choke, but now that means that J9 is marked. Mr. Von has their number, and like J9 needs to escape and also put pressure on Santix. This is crazy. I mean, J9 is in such a bad position. Rosden on the hog here, like, you're playing on the high ground, what are you going to do, you know, other than hook a couple players? But, like, J9 and Thrall go down. This is going to come down to last fight territory. You get a hook onto Blizzard Star, and you manage to kill them off. Okay, Rosden doing good things on the hog so far. Throws down the pig pen to maybe catch out Totally. If they come up to the high ground, there we go. Manages to use it. Going to drop down onto the point now. Has a bit of staying power on the Roadhog. Pulls Santix out into the open. Forces out that Transcendence. J9 Oh, can't keep track of Mr. Von. Mr. Von finds 2 kills. A pulse bomb onto Santix is the only consolation they'll have. And 7-1, completing the reverse sweep, denying the fate of history there. And they'll progress forward in our upper brackets.
Oh, did they trip up at the start, but they corrected themselves. They got themselves nice upright in a proper pose, and the posture was fixed. 7-2-1 with a 3-2 to Warwick in a reverse sweep.
Yeah.
A reversal from last time, but this time the team that was reverse sweeping actually secured it. 7-2-1 and Warwick. I mean, yeah, 7-2-1 have won both times, but this has so far been the most back and forth, most competitive match that we've seen on broadcast, and that I'm aware of that has happened in the entirety of the round robin yesterday, including the games that we didn't broadcast. So this matchup is just a great sign of, you know, if we get these in the lowers final, then that would be great. I mean, Warwick now have a chance to make that lower bracket push to try and get back into this one. 7-2-1, they push forward into the next round of the winners, as they had a high aspirations, right? 7-2-1, they want to be a top 2 team. Well, you have comebacks like that, then you have a chance, definitely.
I mean, now is their opportunity, right, to make that like grab for that second place spot. They need to do really well in the upper bracket. I mean, they've got teams like Kingfish, Grill Masters, the like, right, to go up against. And Kingfish had a bye in the first round. They've had time now to either watch the broadcast or just walk around the LAN and look at people's screens and be like, okay, this is what they're going to play. This is what they're going to play.
Warm up, play
they
Lethal
can prep.
Company. They could have done anything, really.
They can prep. It's all prep here for Kingfish. Sorry, for Grill Masters. And then Kingfish, obviously, I mean, we don't have the score yet, but I would imagine they have won their first round match.
You would assume so, yeah.
It's Kingfish, right?
Yeah.
So 7-2-1 have some hard competition coming up.
Yeah, and I think this sets up an exciting loser bracket run for Warwick.
Yeah.
Yes, they stumble at the end there, but they showed that they almost 3-0 7-2-1.
Yeah.
I like the style that they're coming with. To keep that up, then maybe they make some magic with a lower bracket run. 7-2-1, they're in the winner bracket. We will have more winner bracket and loser bracket matches throughout the day. Every match counts so much more than yesterday. We're out of the round robin. It's do or die for these teams as they battle